On this trip, we'll be heading to Las Vegas to see the Wizard of Oz at the MSG Sphere. Now, the last time I went to the Sphere was in late 2023 to check out A Postcard from Earth, which is a film directed specifically for the Sphere. Now, I'm pretty excited to see the Sphere launch their first classic movie, 1939, The Wizard of Oz, and see how they remake and shape that for the Sphere. Now, with Las Vegas down in tourism and even the Sphere having really bad first year revenue in the negative, I was pretty excited to see how they did with this classic with Wizard of Oz. Will it be something to help put the Sphere in the positive and help Vegas tourism? Or will it just be an overrated, high price inflation money grab like everything else seems to be in Vegas right now? Join me as I give you a walkthrough on my full review and honest opinion on the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. Check it out. Now, making our way in Saturday evening with our show for the Sphere Sunday. We had just enough time to get checked in. We'll be staying at the Silverton, which is two properties, the Silverton Casino and Lodge, which has a Bass Pro Shop, a nice aquarium, and a casino, and a few nice spots to eat at. Now, they also have the Berkeley property. That's the property we'll be staying at, which is the part of the Silverton, but it has more of an apartment style. You can get a suite A and a suite B, which is two rooms right next to each other if you have a large family. That's what we got. Both rooms come with a kitchen, living room, separate bedroom, nice sized bathroom, even a washer and dryer. Now, this isn't a sponsor. I just like to bring up good, nice properties for good prices, especially with inflation. So right off the strip, a few miles, very low key. But it's time for me to have my scorpion shot and get ready for tomorrow. All right, it is Sunday, and we are making our way to the Sphere. Tickets for 11 o'clock. Now, the Silverton Hotel was only a few miles away, so it didn't take us long to get here. But we were running a little late. You're supposed to give yourself 30 to 45 minutes to check everything out in the Sphere before your show. We're practically pulling up right at 11. So we're just hoping we can see everything afterwards and kind of just get straight to the show. So the staff member working the door told me that the doors lock once the show starts. And with it being about 10 minutes after 11, we were locked out. I didn't know what we were going to do. I was not aware, and I was just caught totally off guard.
You think you can do this shit? Jay! You think you can do this to me?
Locked out. I blacked out for a second. I got a lot to figure out now. Main reason we came to Vegas was to see Wizard of Oz. Hopefully we still get to see the show. So I had to snap out of it. I had to figure this thing out. So the first thing I did was check the show times, and they had another showing at 2 p.m., which is only about 2.5 hours from now. So we decided to walk to the Wynn, have a few drinks, and just laugh about the whole mishap. We just had a little bit of time to kill. Secondly, I had to check the third party I bought the tickets from and just make sure I was insured, which I did check the insurance, so I'll be getting my refund in the future. And then lastly, this is just advice. If you book through Ticketmaster, who works directly with the Sphere, you can always reschedule for a later time and get your refund. If you book through a third party, make sure to get insurance, because if you're late for any reason, you will miss out and you cannot reschedule and you won't even get your refund. That's just a little bit of advice. So we made it back to the Sphere with about a half an hour to spare. We got enough time to check out some of these Wizard of Oz props, so everything worked out. Something tragic ended up turning out okay. Now, with these crystal balls projecting scenes of the movie, to the escalator showing scenes of the bike riding, even to this holographic projector wall showing the Wizard of Oz, is just insane. One thing about the Sphere is they always have the state-of-the-art technology.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
With it getting closer to showtime, we decided it was time to head to our seats. There was a lot of stuff we could check out after the show. There was even a live show they're supposed to be having, but merch, drinks, the whole nine, they had it all. But we're heading to the 400 section to get positioned to get into our seat because we got about 5 minutes before our show. We were in the 406, all the way in the back. but straight down the middle. So I thought it was a pretty good seat. Might want to be a little bit closer, but at least we'll be able to see everything from the top. Now, this part of the movie with the tornado is when it really starts getting intense. And I really started to notice how I love these seats from up top. You can see everything, very wide angle. The first time I sit, I was a little lower, and I caught myself looking up, kind of hurt my neck trying to see the top. I don't know what the perfect seat is. I guess it just depends on your perspective. But I must say, I really do like these seats right here. I was able to see everything. And in my eyes, I had the best seat in the house. Now that tornado scene was wicked. I mean, from your seat shaking, lights flickering, leaves blowing in your face, even to this scene with apples dropping out the sky. It was more in the front rows. I don't know exactly where, but if you want an apple, you might want to look into that. And even this part with the witch and the LED lights making the whole theater turn red. It's like the spirit just takes you into these movies. It really is an experience. And so far, so good. I really like this show.
There's Emerald City. Oh, we're on.
Now, this scene when they pass through the scarlet poppies and Dorothy and Toto and the Cowardly Lion fall into a deep sleep, the way they have this pollen from the flowers coming up all over throughout the theater is insane. And this is something that's blowing through fans. So the leaves and the pollen and all of that, whether you're in the front or whether you're in the back, you're going to experience that. You're going to see that blowing in your face. Your seats are going to rumble. I say the only experience you won't see if you're not in a certain area would be the apple dropping. So I really like the flames popping up. This is just another add-on. I didn't really know that there was going to be this many. I've seen the kind of videos in the past of the apples dropped and a few other things, but I mean the flames along with the leaves and everything else, it's really a lot in this show. And I'm just a fan of the movie in general, so I think if you're coming in it just looking at it as a fan of the movie, it makes it a lot more easier to not be such a critic and just enjoy all the add-ons. Oh, it looks like the flying monkey scene is the grand finale. Looking up and seeing these props of these flying monkeys. I don't know if they're on string or on drone, but there's about 3 or 4 of them I've seen flying across the room, that kind of blend in with the screen. So they're taking this immersive experience to a whole nother level with this one. I really like it though. I thought it was cool. I thought all the experiences from the leaves blowing and the flickering lights and everything, rumbling seats. A lot of people said it was a little too intense. I think it was just right. It wasn't too intense at all. It just kind of fit the movie and it kind of took you there unexpectedly. But I'm glad that they did it, because it just was more than a big screen. All right, bravo. I think that was a good show and it didn't tarnish The Wizard of Oz one bit as far as the classic. Definitely kind of just enhanced it and brought it back to life. And a lot of people that aren't familiar with Wizard of Oz, I think this gives them a chance to check it out. We're headed out, this big crowd, trying to get to this after show they're having where you get to engage with the wizard. As you can see, they have more of the flying monkey props up there. But it's a lot of people, so we're hoping we can get a good position. Looking at some of the props, they had the wagon of Professor Marvel. They had a lot of these crystal balls just displaying scenes, futuristic technology, a lot of merch, a lot of props. Merch was sky high. Everything in the Sphere is sky high. But we're trying to make our way to this after show. Pretty excited. It's an engaging experience where you can ask the wizard questions and he'll answer you. from that holographic wall. So I'm pretty excited for that. It reminds me of the AI experiences where we got to ask AI questions with Postcard from Earth. And I really love that they do this and just showing off their technology and what the Sphere has where you cannot find that anywhere else.
And now it's time for some flakes. Not so fast! Not so fast! I need time to think on the matter. Go away! Come back tomorrow!
That's not okay. Come on.
Do not rock the rock of the breakneck powers! You ungrateful creatures! The great and powerful Oz has spoken. Esteemed guests of the Emerald City, thank you for being with us today. We now wish you all a safe journey home.
Man, what a cool after show. I almost like that more than the movie. But I couldn't get close enough to show you guys what was going on. Was if you were in the front, you got to ask the wizard for a wish. With the wizard being that holographic display on the wall, it was crazy because you asked for a wish, he would look at you, make eye contact, answer your wish, and it was just showing off the technology. Like I said, they did this with AI at Postcard from Earth, and I actually got to ask AI a question. I thought that was amazing. Overall, the show was good. Outside of me having to get locked out at 11 and go to a 2 o'clock show, but things happen. So just a heads up, if you're running late, just make sure to insure your tickets and to cover yourself because they will lock them doors on you. But I will leave you with this. The Sphere will be in 2026 releasing their next feature film that was made specifically for the Sphere called From the Edge. And it's kind of a immersive extreme sports experience, kind of like Free Solo. So look for that in the future. But making our way back through this hot desert terrain. And I will leave you with a fun fact. Once we got to the Nevada state line, making our way into San Bernardino County, anybody that's from SoCal or is from the San Bernardino area, you would know the Fox Theater that used to be out there actually got the first screening of The Wizard of Oz and even King Kong before it hit theaters to give their feedback. Now, the Fox Theater, there's only so many open in America, but San Bernardino and Pomona Fox Theater definitely got to see The Wizard of Oz first in 1939. With Route 66 and all the history in San Bernardino, and when you're crossing the Vegas state line going straight to San Bernardino County, I thought that was pretty cool and it just matched up with the trip. But making our way through this long drive, killing time, stopping in Baker, grabbing some jerky, just checking out this whole Area 51 display, makes the drive a little easier when you're driving through that hot Mojave Desert. But stopping, getting our jerky, kind of interacting with this little small tourism spot in Baker. Most people know about the drive to Vegas, the world's biggest thermometer. Good thing it was a good temperature. We're out. Now I'll close this out with some of my thoughts and tips on the Sphere. I'll start off with tips. Knowing that the Sphere is expensive, I would just recommend budgeting. Like I paid for the tickets, I paid for some good quality seats, but I didn't pay for parking. I got dropped off. I didn't buy any merch. I just didn't think it was worth it and it was overpriced. So just know your budget, know your limits, and you don't have to get everything because everything's overpriced. Secondly, make sure to get there on time. It's one of those things where you're going to be on time anyway to see the Sphere, but I think since I've seen it, I kind of thought, okay, I'll just check it out after, forgetting that these doors lock like a Broadway play, which is rightfully so. You don't want to be walking past people in their way when they're trying to watch the movie because you're late. So too, just know that to be on time and to get your tickets covered and insured so you don't miss out on anything. Lastly, the Sphere overall and the experience and a remake like Wizard of Oz. I give it a 9 out of 10. I think it was great, but it wasn't perfect. I think there was a couple of scenes AI lagged a little bit, but a minute or two throughout the whole film does not take away from what they did. The tornado scene, the flying monkeys, it brought Wizard of Oz to what we saw it as kids with your imagination watching it to an immersive, real experience in a big dome screen and something you never thought you'd see. So it really just made that old classic movie that made you think out the box and think fantasy and see it right in front of your face. It's just something you never would think to see in your life. So I give it a 9 out of 10 and I recommend it. Just be smart about it. Remember to love life, cherish life, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.